Continuing with the intake swaparoo here, I got one of these for the Mustang because I think that this or my double drive-by-wire might have been an issue, even though it didn't seem like it. The easiest thing, in my opinion, is to get rid of this giant double unknown intake. And I was going to put a stock one on. I think I showed all this. I was going to put a stock one on, but I ran a lot of my wiring and plugs and harness and battery wires underneath the intake because I had all that real estate, because the double intake is taking up an exorbitant amount of room in these sides. So I always wanted to try like a mid-ram China sheet metal, as you would call it. So I looked up the cheapest one, and it did not have that great of reviews, but I was curious what that was like, because you always hear these are better. And I got the first one. It's on the car now, runs and drives. Had no issues other than bolt holes were not lining up. So I couldn't get a bolt in here or here, and I was missing intake bolts, and I was like, oh, what the hell? I just put the gaskets on and went to throw it on, and I'm like, wow, the alignment isn't right or something. And, you know, I was probably, my head was mildly boiled and cooked like an egg. And I was like, well, damn, the bolt holes don't line up. They have to send me another intake. So I did a return. I got this one. Since the intake's on the car and I don't want to rip the whole car apart to see if the intake fits, I rolled out the old L33 here, threw it on, and same. There's no bolt holes. They weren't lining up. I pulled the intake off and I went, oh, no kidding. Bro, there are no bolt holes on like 3 or 4 of these. So it has them on like the end, but then like this one, this one, this one are missing. There's no hole in the cylinder head. So these are just there for some reason. I don't know if it's just the pattern they did and it was easier to not delete them, or if it fits a certain cylinder head. Maybe you guys can answer me, but I've never had the issue where I have more bolt holes than bolts. So yeah, I thought I didn't have enough bolts and the intake was wrong, but it's actually a beautiful intake, and it is tough. Listen to that. That's not your like real tinny. This is some thick boy stuff, and there's like trumpets in here. Let me get a flashlight. So you do hear issues with these intakes and the air distribution being garbage. It's nice to see that this kind of has trumpets and a little bit of a direction with the airflow, so it can't like go straight back into the back cylinders and just crush them super lean. It comes with a nice O-ring gasket. It comes with a gasket kit where you just shove these guys in. They're very proud, meaning there's lots of meat to seal up, so that's not an issue either. It comes with all the bolts. It comes with fuel rails. The rails fit. I had a little bit of a shorter injector, but they fit great. I was blown away. All of it was nice. The whole thing is nice. We're gonna see what kind of power it can survive. I heard that all the new China intakes have the Gen 3. Man, it's like reflecting. The lighting is weird. Maybe the screen just looks terrible because it's so bright and I can't see the screen. That's like a Gen 4 style O-ring boss for the, actually I should try to fit one on, because in that car I have a low dollar thread in 4-bar. So I should just put a stock 4-bar in here and change the plug on my harness, because that would be much nicer than just shoving all the connector. Like I cut the head off and put barbs on them or do other weird stuff. So it looks like the stock sensor will hook up to that. So I'll try it. Actually, we'll just try it quick and I'll be right back. Changing that plan, I can't seem to find what I'm looking for, but that is for sure where the O-ring goes in, and that's where the 10 mil hold down bolt goes. This is just an additional 1/8 inch port. It comes with a bunch of barbs. They all screw into this guy. I'm running the brake booster off the big one, and I did plug, and then I did rotatey boy dot push locks on these, and they come out and go to my vacuum block near my water pump. But yeah, look at that throttle body flange. That's serious, dude. And the other thing I was impressed with, let me drag the motor out. It sits totally flat. Both of the intakes sit totally flat. Everyone talks about how all of these don't fit. They don't sit flat, and the bolt holes don't line up, like they're tweaked. Totally flat, both of them. I put both on the engines with no gaskets. Totally flat, all 4 corners. Totally flat. Totally flat. Dragged out Jimmy McBree's bits and ripped off Paddington Bear. And let's set this guy on here nice, so we don't ding anything up. I even have pine needles in there. But yeah, take a look at completely flat, except for there, pine. I'll blame it on the pine needles, but there we go. Totally flat, totally flat, totally flat. I'm not scooching it, I'm just making sure it's... But also, it has very good intake. Yeah, I'm crushing pine needles. So this is what I was talking about. You can't see it at all. Stupid sunlight. There is a bolt hole and a bolt hole and no bolt hole at all. And a bolt hole, no bolt hole at all, and a bolt hole. Yeah, so they don't exist on the cylinder head at all. So like this one here, there's a bolt hole here in threads. Nothing is here. Nothing. Lo and behold, nothing is there. I was such a dummy. I'm like, God. Oh, see, this is what's screwing up my intake. These pine needles are all the way down in there. Anywho, totally flat. Doesn't rock. Doesn't rock. It doesn't focus. Doesn't rock, doesn't focus. I'm just punching it now, I'm sorry. Anyway, yeah, I'm very surprised. 280 bucks with fuel rails. No throttle. You put a stock throttle or like a snaky boy. This is a 92 mil. I don't see the point in going 102 unless you have some crazy all motor stuff, etc. Blah 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 blah. Thought you would like to know. Gonna do some dynoing very soon with the Mustang, and I'll probably... It would be nice if I could plug my intercooler and dyno it on motor, but I don't know if I care to do 75 tests